Another episode splashing in the fishbowl. And on today's episode, cruise control, crowd control, who's in control? You feel me? Y'all know we keep the stars on like the stars out here, the lights on the stars, bopping and bopping. Yeah, man, we out here, big truck shit, millionaire mission shit. Gotta get to it quick. You know what I'm saying? Everything in motion. What y'all got going on tonight? Old subscribers, day one subscribers, I appreciate y'all. Returning subscribers, I appreciate y'all. New subscribers, I appreciate y'all. If you ain't subscribed, you should go on and subscribe. You have arrived to Millionaire Mission, Miltastic TV, and I'm live. TA Scratching, what's happening? Y'all already know how we get it cracking here. Millionaire Mission, outside edition. We on the motherfucking road with the satchel on the back to put food in the kitchen. Listen. Hey, God, open up the windows of heaven and pour me out a blessing to take away my stresses and make my sadness lessen. Huh? What's good, my boy? Yeah, man, you know. Just had to get up out of that cold. We just out here working, man. 1 week left and you outside with it. Okay. My boy say he finna be out here splashing in the motherfucking universe. You understand me? Splashing in the highways and byways. It say that I would have that time and they wasn't lying. Woo! Now what we gonna do with it? You already know I like to wake up at the receiver. Even if we can't wake up at the receiver. That's a good thing to do right now. While I was sitting here politicking, let me just do a little, oh damn, the phone's in the back. I finna do a little Google and see what they say, cause I could just chill, but nah. Let me see. We gonna go ahead and get over the. We ain't gonna fuck off tonight. Keisha B, what's happening? Blessings be on y'all. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, coming through. Keisha B, GA Scratcher, my return subscribers and family. How y'all doing out there tonight? Man, your boy needs some Z's, but they got a satchel on my back, so I'm about to go and get this cheese. Yeah. We're gonna run it up. It's a little cold out here. Oh yeah, my bad. I ain't got no intros like, the fancy YouTubers, but I do like to play that theme song. You feel me? You gotta go get it, cause that's like motivation to me. That's like when I be thinking about all the stinking thinking, that makes all the stinking thinking go away. You feel me? Get that bag. You feel me, Keisha B? When I be having all the stinking thinking thoughts, sometimes I just pop this on right here and it get my mind right quick. And let y'all, you feel me? Like I say, we ain't got no fancy YouTube intro. We make our own intro. This is the intro. If your first time here, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button when you come in the room. If you're in the building to troll, make sure you hit that like button before you start trolling. But let's get to it. Y'all notice the theme music, man. Y'all vibe with me for a minute before I get to the reading and all the good stuff. Alright, just vibe with me.
For the city of the go-getter, go get it, hustle, get all the muscles, all this will be broken on your dick, look and sit there on the bench, hell no, we gon' ball, candy paint 30 in wheels and all, and ain't no job, but we still getting to it. If you working 9 to 5, pull overtime just to survive, still stay alive. What's the move for the paper? What's Bust a move for the paper. Bust a move to survive. Gotta stay alive. Bust a move for the paper. Bust a move for the paper. Let's mobbing all over the floor. Joe, I'm too turned up in my show. And everywhere we go, we connect with the city. You know I got them country boys with me. We're connected with the Zoes, Asians, Jamaicans, Cubans, Mexican, and every other race I connect with. Motec, bitch, DJs worldwide. Play my shit, so what you wanna be a hater, bitch? I'ma play a bitch, regulator, bitch. I'ma come straight through your hood on some fucking hater shit. And I'm linking up with whoever trying to get this paper, bitch. For the city of the go-go, so go get it, hustler, get off the muscles. This will be broken on your dick, looking sicker than the bitch. Hell no, we gon' ball. Candy paint 30-inch wheels and all. And ain't no job, but we still getting to it. If you working 9 to 5, pull overtime just to survive. Still stay alive. What's the move?
And I gotta swap it out. You feel me?
What's the move for the paper? What's the move to survive? Gotta stay alive. What's the move for the paper? What's the move for the paper? Let's gotta be fly. Gotta get fly. Can't tell you why ladies always gon' love on the guy with that bankroll. So fuck what you think, bro. I'm about to go bankroll. And this is my bankroll. I'm blowing up like bankroll. It's hard work to pay it off. And I am so grateful for everything I've been blessed with. No devil can take this. I make hits like mama making grits in the kitchen. The quick fix of good shit. I have you for a minute while you running around and get it. Millions of this and I will not stop until I can't go cash in. From the city of the go-go, so go get it. Hustle, get it off the muscle. This will be broken on your dick, looking sicker than a bitch. Hell no, we gon' ball. Candy paint 30-inch wheels and all. And ain't no job, but we still getting to it. If you working 9 to 5, pull overtime just to survive. Still stay alive. Bust a move for the paper. Bust a move for the paper. Bust a move to survive. Gotta stay alive. Bust a move for the paper. Bust a move.
Let's get it.
For the paper, let's get it.
Let's get it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know we get on over here, man. We don't got them intros where the video start playing with the intro. We just make our own intro. You feel me? Welcome to the show where we make our own intro every day. You never know what you're gonna get. It's definitely gonna be something exclusive. That's me. Yeah, that's me. I just ain't put that one out yet, so I can play it on here without worrying about getting copyright strikes. If I play any of my music that I put out, I get a own copyright strike for putting my music on here. I gotta talk to you too about that. We gotta have a conversation about that. But I can play exclusive music. Like if I go to the studio and I make something, I can play that on here. I ain't gonna get no strikes for that. And a couple of these tracks that I be playing is stuff that I made that I ain't put out yet. I wait till I get a collective of nice songs that I like and then I put them out. Y'all doing all right tonight? How y'all feeling tonight? My boy say he got one more week in school. He about to be on these highways and byways, ripping and running and ripping like me. Ooh-wee. Trying to tell you. Ripping and running and ripping. He in the road looking for vacation. Where it's at? Vacation got to be on the way, baby. You know what I'm saying? But for right now, we're going to get this cheese and stay focused. Yeah. Let me cut that off. Because I know they don't like that. They don't like when we idle like that. We did start Solomon. We did start Solomon's Songs of Solomon. So we started that. And see, there's multiple things we could do here. Y'all kind of got me hyped and want to whoop down the road a little bit. But I also could take this is easy an hour or two of those. You feel me? Those. And so I'll make my decision once I get off of here. I actually got some good grub going in the air fryer. I just ain't cut it on yet. We got some good grub going in the air fryer here. You feel me? Let me see. We got some good stuff going in the air fryer here, man. This is what we got going, man. We eating good. We got the tender with the shrimp with the fries. I'm bucking a little bit. And I got some baked chicken that I got earlier. I put that in the refrigerator. I had like 2 pieces for $5. Some baked chicken from another spot. I'm chilling, waiting for my boo to come home. Sound about right. Sounds about right. And I want to cook that baked chicken with some yellow rice. But let's get into the reading, shall we? All right. Dear Lord, Father up in heaven, thank you for everything. I ask you to forgive me of my sins. I come before your throne. I ask you to heal me from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. Bless me with the millions in my account so I no longer have to work for anybody but me and you. In Jesus' name, I ask that you continue to keep me safe from harming anybody harming me, watching me or watching over me from breakdowns, accident, incidents, DOT tickets. Keep it all away from me if it's not from you, Lord. I ask you that you give me knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and instructions as I read your word. May the person listening get knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and instruction as I read your word. May they be encouraged to pick up your word and read it themselves in case they're atheists or orphan and don't know that you're real and that you're their father. In Jesus' name, I ask you to reveal yourself. Watch over my family, friends, and even my enemies. Amen. Amen. We splashing in the fishbowl with another episode. Here we go. We on Solomon. Solomon. It's a little dark out here. Solomon, Songs of Solomon, chapter 2. I am the rose of Sharon, the lily of the valleys. Like a lily among thorns, so is my darling among the maidens. Like an apple tree among trees of the forest, so is my beloved among the young men. In his shade I took great delight and sat down, and in his fruit was sweet to my taste. In his shade I took great delight and sat down, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. He has brought me to his banquet hall, and his banner over me is love. Sustain me with raisin cakes, refresh me with apples, because I am lovesick. Let his left hand be under my head, and his right hand embrace me. I adjure you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazellers or by the hens of the field, that you do not arouse or awaken my love until she pleases. Listen, my beloved, behold, he is coming, climbing on the mountains, leaping on the hills. My beloved is like a gazelle or a young stag. Behold, he is standing behind our wall. He is looking through the windows. He is peering through the lattice. My beloved responded and said to me, Arise, my darling, my beautiful one, and come along. For behold, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers have already appeared in the land. The time has arrived for pruning. The time has arrived for pruning the vines, and the voice of the turtle dove has been heard in our land. The fig tree has ripened its figs, and the vines and blossoms have given forth their fragrance. Arise, my darling, my beautiful one, and come along. O my dove, in the cleft of the rocks, in the secret place of the steep pathways, let me see your form, let me hear your voice, for your voice is sweet, and your form is lovely. Catch the foxes for us, the little foxes that are running through the vineyards, while our vineyards are in blossom. My beloved is mine, and I am his. His pasture he flocks among the lilies, until the cool of the day when the shadow flees away. Turn, my beloved, and be like a gazelle or a young stag on the mountains of Bethel. Amen. And it's like a love story, you feel me? So a lot of the references we might not get off the top, like when they saying the flowers have already appeared in the land and the voice of the turtle dove has been heard in our land. That's maybe some seductive talk back in the day in their time and in their language. Maybe that's some sort of deductive talk. But I get another scripture in there. We on 2 right there. I think this is pretty short. So I'll read another scripture while this food warm up, because I'm definitely finna eat before I pull off. Or even take a nap. I'm still undecided. I could pull off or take a nap. Either one. I could do either one. And I'm undecided right now as to what we doing. Is we pulling off or is we taking a nap? Because y'all know I like to pull off. I like to go get that bag. But I could use an hour or 2. Just saying. I could use an hour or 2. We'll figure it out. Gotta hook up this air fryer, get it going. Get the air fryer, get it going, man. I gotta get her going. You know? Get this good grub going over here. Yeah. My back saying lay my ass down, or I ain't gonna hold you. But I don't care nothing. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. So we gonna warm this goodness up. Oh, let me take the biscuit out. Cause you only put the biscuit in towards the end, man. You don't want to burn up your biscuit. That air fryer will definitely do it to you. And you gotta watch that when you're putting already cooked food in there, cause that air fryer will overcook anything, brother, sisters. It will overcook your food. But if they give you some well done food, if you're cooking it from scratch, for sure, like you putting a hamburger in there, sausage in there, patties in there, anything you putting in there, man. I put some bacon on some cheese and mayo bread, and ooh, I made a little grilled cheese sandwich. That thing was busting. That thing was so good. Who is Solomon? Solomon, who is he talking to? Solomon is King David's son. Solomon is King David's son, and he talking to one of his many wives or one of his many concubines. I think he had like 700 wives and 300 concubines or something like that. That nigga had a lot of wives. I think he tried to have like 1,000 children. Solomon was tripping. He was a little horny little nigga. That nigga was smart though. He had that bread. He could take care of all them women. Like, imagine trying to take care of 1,000 women. God damn, you gotta take care of their kids and they family. And this nigga had 1,000 women. Niggas today can't take care of one. That's crazy when you think about it. But he was the richest man in the land at the time, so he could afford it. He could afford it, man. And they wasn't complaining, you heard me? Some other woman probably seen Solomon the night they got married, honeymoon, and ain't seen that nigga no more. But all the bills paid, they get anything they want to. If they want to request to see the king, they can request to see the king. But if he don't call for them and they don't call for him, then they just keep getting their bills paid until he want to see them again. You think the first 500 women was arguing with the next 500 wives? Hell no, the first 500 wives was like, hey, this nigga ain't stop paying no bills over here. What the hell? What the fuck I'm gonna argue with y'all for? But we can see where it was some cat fighting and some mishaps with the outside kids in the Bible in certain stories, like let's say Abraham and Sarah when she told him to impregnate the maid, his wife. I mean, like her handmaid. He's not the one with the long hair. That was his scrimp. That was Samson. Solomon he was the wisest man in the world, because when God asked him like what you want, he ain't asked for riches or land. He just asked for like wisdom to rule all this stuff that you putting under my authority. And yeah, Solomon. I felt like Solomon a little bit, and then I cut my own hair. I shouldn't have probably did that, but I went to these wicks, and at the roots of the wicks, it was like messed up. So like, while it looked good to y'all, to me the roots were kind of fucked, and I was like, I ain't on that. City girl, what's up? Yeah, so I was like, I wanted my roots like I want my scalp to be good, not patchy, because I got wicks in my head. So yeah, had to cut them things. Had to cut them. Had to cut it. Yes, I had to cut it. Seeing mine's all tore up. I ain't show y'all my air fryer. It's all tore up. It done had a little beating. Look at the top just be flapping around. It done had a little beating. You know what I'm saying? It done had a little beating now. Yeah. just gotta have some the tenacity and the determination. You heard me? Tenacity and determination, and be diligent with this shit. Don't be reckless. Be diligent with this shit. Nah, for real, that thing had done fell from on high and busted open, but it still be working. So I was like, you know what? The last one, the cord got ripped. Right. All right, Keisha B. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to that shine of mine somewhere out there in the world. Looking for the next sale, you heard me? Who for the shot with the next? See, you got them fries. You want them fries to get crispy too. Have that crunch to it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Other than that, y'all know I be listening to my little ghetto story. Been kind of hard listening to it lately because they been doing too much sex. And I've been like, yo, y'all gotta relax. These niggas be hunching every 2 seconds.
Finally gotten Bernie to stop crying and brought them all together for a group huddle while he whispered to them about working things out with the help of his show's counselors. As soon as everyone relaxed, Boots moved within arm's reach of Bernie, and he did something he should have done years ago. He pounced on Boots. By the time security made it to the altercation, Bernie had already socked Boots in the eye and was in the process of strangling her. Security managed to pry Bernie's hands from around Boots' neck and escorted him backstage, where he was taken into custody by the local police, and the cameras caught it all. One camera managed to get a close-up of Bernie's face as he was being handcuffed, and he was actually smiling. He had whipped Boots out in front of millions of witnesses and would surely go to jail because of it. But at the end of the day, it was all worth it. Boots had been making a fool out of Bernie for years, and that black eye he'd given her on daytime television made them even. Miss Pat had seen enough. She turned off the television and looked to her great-granddaughter. "Baby, hand me the classified section out of that newspaper next to you." Jalen handed Miss Pat the section she requested and watched curiously as she thumbed through the real estate section. "Grandma, how come you're looking at apartments when you already have one?" "Because when trash like that falls this close to your doorstep, that means it's time to move on. There goes the damn neighborhood. Again." Part 1. Welcome back. Chapter 1. "I don't know why we didn't take my car," Billy said with an attitude from the passenger seat. She wore her signature scowl, and her hair was pulled back into a ponytail. What little she had tried to do with it had started to sweat out in the hot-ass car. Billy tried her best to remain still, because every time she moved, she burned her arm on the imitation leather upholstery. It was a balmy 90 degrees outside. The air conditioning in Reese's piece-of-shit car was busted, and Billy didn't find this out until they were already off the block. She was already late, and going back would make her tardier. "Why are you always complaining about something? I'd have thought you'd have been happy we were taking my car, since you always complain about your truck being a gas guzzler whenever we need to go somewhere," Reese pointed out. Though she wouldn't admit it, she too was hot. She glanced up in the rear view, and the sweat on her forehead had begun to make her foundation run. She tried to fix it with her thumb, but it didn't help. Reese was always conscious about her makeup being correct, because she had slightly bad skin. "Filling my tank up is a small price to pay instead of burning up in here," Billy fanned herself. She rolled the window down, but it didn't help. The air outside was almost as humid as the air inside. "Jesus, I can't take it." Reese sucked her teeth. "I'll be glad when we get back so I can get you the hell out of my ride with your complaining ass." "Well, that makes 2 of us, jailbird," Billy capped. "I'm still trying to figure out how your ass managed to get arrested twice in less than 72 hours. Reese gave her a look. "Don't even try it, Billy. I'll wear the first one, but the second arrest was all on you. I got locked up for holding you down, remember?" "Well, you wouldn't have had to hold me down if you hadn't put that nut-ass idea in my head," Billy shot back. "I wish you could have seen yourself out there going Rambo in front of all them white people," Reese laughed, reliving the moment in her head. "That's not funny, Reese. I could have ended up with a record behind that and lost my job. You know they don't play that when you work for the state," Billy said seriously. "Billy, ain't nobody trying to put you on America's Most Wanted for no street fight. And as far as your job goes, Marcus got how to drop the charges, so your job isn't going to find out. Even if they did, it'd be a fool's move to fire you. Nobody looks out for those kids the way you do." For the last few years, Billy had been working for the Department of Child Services as a social worker. Billy came from the same background as most of the kids she worked with, so she connected with them in ways that most couldn't. The pay wasn't great, but she had full benefits, and for the first time in her life, was doing something she enjoyed for a living. Billy couldn't save every kid who passed through her caseload, but the one she could made her feel like she was doing her part. How much further? Billy asked, changing the subject. Reese looked down at the GPS. She had to balance it on her lap, because the crackhead she had bought it from didn't sell her the window mount with it. Should be just up ahead. Why the hell did she fly into Newark instead of JFK or LaGuardia? It would have been a lot more convenient. Because she got a buddy pass hookup from one of her homeboys. Reese made air quotations with her fingers. You know that bitch is cheap and ain't trying to spend it, but she ain't got to. Billy shook her head. You would have thought she'd learned some damn class living in Hollywood all this time. I guess you can take a chick out of the ghetto, but can't take the ghetto out of a chick. Reese drove in silence for a few minutes before asking, so how did she sound when you spoke to her? Billy shrugged. She sounded like herself, I guess. How was she supposed to sound? I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure everything is kosher. I don't want no shit, Billy. Billy sucked her teeth. Reese, calm your ass down. She and I talked in great length about it, and she's cool, at least for the time being. If you had kept your inner hoe in check, you wouldn't have to be concerned. Billy, I wish you would stop saying shit like I did it on purpose, Reese said. Sure, people slip and fall on random dicks by accident all the time, Billy replied sarcastically. Look, don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. Reese pulled off the I-9 South and followed the airport terminal signs for American Airlines arriving flights. She weaved in and out of airport traffic with the grace and disrespect of a native New York driver, pissing off the other motorists. She scanned the sea of faces, waiting for curbside pickup, but none of them belonged to her friend. Reese was about to circle back around when Billy spotted her, 2 terminals down from where she was supposed to meet them. Billy took a minute to take in the measure of her friend. The California sun had added a rich tan to her skin, bringing the African-American side of her more to the forefront than usual. Her signature weave was gone, and she now wore her hair in a short, curly style that fit her round face. She had put on a bit of weight since I last seen her, but it seemed to have been distributed at all the right places. From the way her jeans hugged her thighs and a lack of stomach, you could tell that hitting the gym was one of the habits she had picked up while living in LA. From the way the butterscotch-colored young man in the flight attendant's uniform was hanging on her every word, it was obvious that no matter how much she might have changed physically, at heart, she was still Yoshi. Having seen enough, Reese started beeping the horn. Yoshi flashed a look that said hating bitch before holding up one finger, signaling for them to give her a second. She exchanged a few more words with the flight attendant before he grabbed the majority of her bags and struggled with them to the car, while Yoshi watched with an amused expression on her face. She hadn't lost her killer's instincts. Still the same old Yoshi, Billy remarked as soon as she got into the car. Ain't shit changed about me but my area code. Now shut up and give me some love. Yoshi leaned forward and hugged Billy over the front seat. I missed you, Mommy. She kissed her on the cheek. I missed you too, Billy replied. So, you just gonna get in my whip and not speak? Reese asked, noticing that Yoshi hadn't so much as looked at her the whole time. Hi, Reese, Yoshi said dryly. This bitch, Reese mumbled under her breath. Look, this is supposed to be about me and not y'all petty ass shit, so knock it off, Billy interjected. You're 100% right, Billy. I apologize, Yoshi said. Me too, Reese added. But bump all that. We haven't seen you in like 10 years, heifer. How's life in California treating you? Billy changed the subject. Knock it off, Billy. It's only been 2 years since I've been home, so stop exaggerating. As far as California, I love it. It never snows, and the weed is always on hit. I don't know why I waited so long to get out of the Big Apple. And how's business? Billy asked. She had been hearing good things about Yoshi's new venture through the grapevine, and was anxious to get the scoop from the horse's mouth. Business is great now. In the beginning, it was slow, but once I was able to get my name out there, things began to pick up. I mostly do videos and fashion shows, but I did manage to land some work on a few movies last year. One of the girls I did hair and makeup for, on a video, plugged me with somebody she knew in the glam department on a film they were shooting out in Hollywood. Once they saw me work my sorcery and turn them tired-looking hoes into beauty queens, word got out, and more gigs started coming in. I even had to hire a small staff. Yoshi was a former video girl, an exotic dancer, who had applied the money she'd made and the things she'd learned, and started her own company. She did styling and makeup for various entertainment companies. Yoshi had started her business out of a roll-on she kept in the trunk of her car, but was now starting to flourish. Listen to you sounding all business-like, Billy teased. Everybody has to grow up and grow out at some point, Billy. You're the one who taught me that. It's crazy because it took me leaving New York to really get focused on doing what I had to do. Sometimes change is good, Ma, Billy said. On another note, I really appreciate you making this trip on such short notice. I know with getting your business off the ground and dealing with life in general, it wasn't the most convenient time for you. Knock it off, Billy. You think I wouldn't show up for my best friend's wedding? Now spill. I want to hear exactly how this miracle came about, and don't leave out any of the details. Chapter 2. Several weeks earlier. Getting across the waiting room was like trying to make it through the club. It was as hot as the devil and crowded with people, mostly women and children, but there were a few men scattered about also. They were from all walks of life, from the working class who needed a little help, to the scam artists who were trying to beat the system, to those who had hit rock bottom with nowhere else to turn. On any given day, you could find the most predictable to the most unlikely people passing through the musty halls and waiting rooms of 55 West 125th Street, also known as the Welfare Building. "Can I help you?" The four-year-looking woman behind the counter asked. She was plump, wearing old-fashioned brown glasses, and her hair was pulled back into a ponytail. "I sure hope so, because I've been here for 3 hours and ain't nobody tried to help me yet," Claudette said, hands on her hip and clicking her gum. She was dressed a pair of $100 jeans, $200 sneakers, but wearing a $10 graphic t-shirt. She reached up and scratched her fuzzy braids with blue acrylic nails that needed filling. Claudette was only 18, but she had worn eyes of a woman who had lived hard and fast far too early. "Who are you here to see, honey?" The woman behind the desk asked, trying to keep her tone even. She saw hundreds of Claudettes on a weekly basis, young, belligerent, and clueless, so she already knew what to expect. "The same thing I wanted when I came in here this morning, to talk to my caseworker, Mrs. Lee." Claudette rolled her eyes. The woman behind the desk felt her finger tightening around the ink pen she was holding. For a brief instant, she had a flash of stabbing the smart-mouthed young girl with a pen, but she valued her job and her freedom. "One moment." She picked up the phone on the desk and punched in an extension. "What was your name?" "Claudette Jenkins." She dragged her name out slowly, as if the woman couldn't speak English. The woman gave Claudette her back while she spoke to someone on the phone, presumably Mrs. Lee. This earned her another eye roll from Claudette. After a conversation which lasted less than 60 seconds, the woman hung up the phone and faced Claudette. "Have a seat and wait for your name to be called." "This is some bullshit," Claudette said in a raised voice. "What the fuck is the sense of giving out appointments if y'all gonna make us wait all these damn hours? I hate this fucking place." "Yet you continue bringing your ass back looking for assistance," the woman said, letting her temper slip. "What the hell did you just say to me?" Claudette snapped. "Listen," the woman behind the desk said, calming herself, realizing she was about to go over the top on Claudette. "I don't know you personally, so I don't know your story, and I'm not judging you. You hate this place, right? I don't blame you. It's always crowded. They make you jump through hoops for little to no money, and it takes forever to get anything done. I was on public assistance for 6 years because I needed help feeding my kids. So I get it. Some people come here and deal with this shit because they don't have a choice. Ain't no shame in needing help. But have you ever considered looking for work so you won't have to deal with this?" "I know you ain't up in here trying to read nobody." Claudette was defensive. "No, I'm just asking you a question. You look healthy enough to work, or maybe even go to school. You're young, and there are a bunch of grants and things that you may qualify for if you're continuing your education. I'm telling you this so you won't have to come down here and deal with this." Claudette's face twisted, as if she had just smelled something foul. "What the fuck do you mean, get a job? If I could get a job, I wouldn't be down at this raggedy motherfucker going through the motions for $110 in cash and $250 in food stamps. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? Don't be trying to give me no fucking advice like you know me." "You're right, ma'am. I don't know you, and I apologize," the woman said, mad at herself for even opening her mouth and trying to encourage the young girl. "Damn right you don't know me." Claudette flipped her hair and walked away. Claudette picked her way back across the room, stepping on toys and narrowly avoiding a collision with a group of unattended kids who decided to start a game of tag in the waiting room. Holding their seats alongside Claudette's kids was a girl named Rocky. Rocky was a cute young girl with a bright smile. After she'd had her son, she put on a little weight, but still had a fair shape. She was holding up for the time being, but a rib platter or two would push her over the line. A few months prior, Rocky had been laid off from her job, and when the unemployment checks ran out and she was still unemployed, she had to do what she had to do for her and her son. It was her first time in life applying for public assistance, and she was a bit confused about the whole process. She looked around like a lost puppy, trying to figure out what was going on and where she should be standing when she bumped into a familiar face, Claudette. She and Claudette weren't close friends, but they lived in the same building and occasionally shared a blunt sponsored by a mutual friend. Claudette, even at 18, was a vet, so she offered to show Rocky the ropes. "What'd she say?" Rocky asked, cradling Claudette's 4-year-old daughter, Monique. "The same shit they've been saying since I got here this morning. Nothing." Claudette plopped down on the hard plastic chair next to Rocky. "These bitches down here be getting on my last fucking nerve. They constantly have you running back and forth, then waiting for hours, just to ask you a bunch of personal-ass questions, and then send you on your way with a few funky $100 and a few food stamps." "Damn, sounds like we'd be better off getting jobs," Rocky said. Claudette sucked her teeth. "I'm gonna pass on that job shit, boo. Right now, I got a 2-bedroom apartment in the projects, and my rent is only $180 because I'm unemployed and on public assistance. Do you know how much I'd be paying for a 2-bedroom somewhere else with no assistance? The cost of living in New York is too damn high to get by without some type of government assistance. Even if I worked a 40-hour week like a square, I'd probably be giving up my whole monthly paycheck just to pay rent on a shoebox apartment that's barely big enough for me and my kids." "Mommy, I'm hungry." Claudette's 2-year-old son, Raymond, hugged her legs. He was a chubby lad who was a few shades lighter than Monique, with curly hair on account of his father being Puerto Rican. "Boy, yes, always hungry. Didn't I feed you this morning before we left?" Claudette said, sounding irritated. "But that was only cereal, Mommy. I'm still hungry," Raymond whined. "You're always hungry. That's why your ass is so fat now." Claudette shoved him away. It was only a slight push, but Raymond dramatically fell on the floor and started crying. "Boy, get your ass up. You're here embarrassing me," she told him. Raymond ignored her and continued crying, kicking his feet against the lady's chair. Ray Ray, you better get up before I give you something to cry for. No, I'm hungry. Raymond yelled and began kicking the chair of the lady in front of him really hard. Raymond's show was attracting the attention of everyone in the waiting room, especially the woman whose chair he was kicking. She looked at Claudette, wondering if she was going to do anything, but the teenager just sat there with her arms folded. Excuse me, could you please make your son stop kicking my chair? The woman asked. She was brown-skinned and in her mid to late 20s. She was neatly dressed in tan capris, a brown v-neck blouse, matching sandals, and was sporting a beautiful gold necklace. Does it look like this motherfucker is listening to me? Claudette asked with an attitude. Tired of people staring at her, Claudette snatched Raymond from the floor roughly and shook him. You better quit clowning before you end up the cause of me fucking this snooty bitch up, she said loud enough for the woman to hear her. Did you just call me a bitch? The woman asked. Wasn't nobody talking to you. I was talking to my son, lady, Claudette said. Little girl, you need to be more mindful of how you talk to people. That mouth of yours is going to land you in trouble, the woman warned. I ain't no little girl. I'm grown, so what comes out of my mouth ain't none of your damn business, Claudette got loud. Y'all keep it down back there, a security guard yelled from the front. Mind your business, Barney Miller, Claudette shot back. Claudette, just chill out, Rocky whispered. People were looking at them, and she was feeling embarrassed. It ain't me who needs to chill. It's these motherfuckers in here. I swear, if this lady don't call me soon so I can take care of my business, I'm going the fuck to jail. Claudette was speaking to Rocky, but looking at the woman whom she'd been arguing with. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you had a problem from the way you're looking over here at me, the woman said. If you want a problem, there can be a problem. Claudette got to her feet and started taking her earrings off. The woman also stood. She didn't want to fight, but she wasn't going to allow Claudette to snuff her either. It ain't that serious, but you ain't going to keep your bumping gums and thinking I'm going to take it. I'll fuck around and go to jail for putting my hands on you. Claudette. Rocky reached for her, but Claudette slapped her hand away. Fuck that. This bitch is acting like she wants it. I dare you to put your fucking hands on me, Claudette challenged. She knew the woman was reluctant because of the age difference and was playing on that. Like I said, I might go to jail for putting my hands on you, the woman repeated. But I won't, a voice called from behind Claudette. She found herself confronted with a younger version of the woman she was arguing with. Without saying another word, the girl punched Claudette in the face and sat her on her ass. Bitch, you trying to start on my sister? She jumped on Claudette's chest and started wailing on her. Sharon, chill out! The woman tried to pull her little sister off Claudette. Fuck that, Reese. I'm gonna teach these hoes about their mouths. Sharon kept tagging Claudette. The waiting room was thrown into chaos. Claudette rolled around on the floor with Sharon, trying to get her off while the children wailed. Security rushed the scene and started manhandling the girls. Sharon was trying to get Claudette, but accidentally punched one of the security guards, and he started hitting her like she was a man. That's my baby sister! Reese screamed and jumped on his back. She had damn near clawed his eyes out before his partner was able to pull her off. When it was all sorted out, Claudette, Sharon, and Reese were taken into custody, and Rocky was left with Claudette's kids. Rocky looked down at Ronique, who had now joined her brother in a fit of crying, and let out a deep sigh. Fuck my life. Chapter 3. Life? Juana said, slapping her comb on the edge of her workstation. Her booth was closest to the door of the salon, so she always got the tea the moment it came through the door. She had one girl in the chair, whose hair she was braiding to prepare for a sew and weave. Two more girls sat around them, on folding chairs, leaning in to make sure they heard every bit of the latest neighborhood dirt. Being that it was the first of the month, the beauty salon was popping, and there was a sea of nappy heads waiting to be addressed. But Juana was more focused on spreading the gossip than the logjam in the hair salon. Damn, he mad young. Why'd they give him so much time? One of the girls in the folding chair asked. She had a shower cap over her head, waiting for the conditioner in her head to settle, so she could get rolled up and go under the dryer. Probably because he shot at least 20 cats, and that's just in Harlem, Juana said. I didn't know him personally, but I've seen him at a few spots, and he was always on some thug shit, so I can't say I'm surprised. That's a damn shame, because I was trying to see about that one there, the girl in the second folding chair said, seemingly genuinely saddened by the news. She wasn't getting her hair done, just keeping her friend company and getting caught up on the gossip. She was wearing a one-piece spandex suit that only drew attention to her beer belly, and a pair of green plastic earrings that didn't match anything she had on. You know you go straight to hell for putting your old-ass pussy on little Ashanti, Juana told her. I don't give a fuck. They said he was the next up-and-coming hood star, and a bitch like me is looking for a come-up. That young girl he was running around with wasn't fucking his little ass properly, and that's why he stayed in trouble. I would have put this mouth on him so good that he wouldn't have even wanted to leave the house, let alone go to prison. My head game's still ringing in the hood. She popped her lips for emphasis. Well, bitch, unless you're going to mail your pussy to him in a care package, it doesn't sound like it's gonna happen, the girl with the shower cap said. You know, it never ceases to amaze me how bitches try to make legends out of lies, a voice called from the far end of the salon. A girl sat in the chair, while the Dominican chick in the pink smock brushed her long black hair out. She was light-skinned, with pink pouty lips. The girl had been listening to the women cackle, but waited until the right time to make her presence known. After the Dominican woman finished brushing her hair out, she rose slowly from the chair and turned her cold eyes on the gossip mongers. Who the fuck is you? The girl with the shower cap asked. wondering who the busybody was who interrupted their dish. Let y'all washed up bitches tell it. I'm the young girl who ain't fucking Ashanti properly, but my name is Fatima, she said with a chill to her voice. From the look on some of their faces, she knew that they knew who she was and what she was about. Where do I know y'all from for y'all to be having mine or my man's names in your mouths? Quanah and the girl with the shower cap remained silent, knowing they were wrong and feeling embarrassed for getting caught dishing the dirt, with her sitting a few feet away. The girl with the plastic earrings knew no such humility. Slow your roll, little girl. We was just down here talking shit. It ain't that serious, the girl with the plastic earrings said. It's serious enough for you to be down here having wet dreams about a piece of dick you'll never touch, Fatima capped. Fatima, don't start no shit in my spot, Maddie called out to her from behind the register, where she was ringing a customer up. She was the plump Puerto Rican girl who owned the salon. She and Fatima had history because back in the day, Maddie dated Fatima's father, Cuddy, who was an old-school gangster known to be about that murder work. Rumor had it that it was Cuddy's blood money that helped Maddie get the shop off the ground. Nah, it ain't like that. You're family, Maddie, so I'd never disrespect your joint like that, Fatima said over her shoulder, but she kept her eyes on the girl with the plastic earrings. I understand. Trust me. I do. Bitches that spend their lives looking in the window of a restaurant will always be left to wonder if the food is any good. She looked the girl with the plastic earrings up and down like she was little more than a stone caught in her shoe. The chattering in the salon suddenly ceased, and all was silent, save for the low hum of the hairdryers. Take them thirsty hoes to church, someone shouted from the far end of the hair salon, her lone voice seeming to bounce off every wall. The girl with the plastic earrings rose to her feet and stood eye to eye with Fatima. Fatima was slightly taller than she was, but the girl with the plastic earrings was at least 20 pounds heavier. Matching Fatima's cold stare, she said, I ain't trying to sit down for a meal, boo, but I hear that takeout menu is something special. She grinned. Someone snickered, but Fatima didn't bother to look and see who it was. She turned to Maddie, who was trying to close the register, and hustled over to her, and then back to the girl with the plastic earrings, who was smirking at her mockingly. Fatima, don't! Maddie screamed, but it was already too late. By the time the girl with the plastic earrings realized Fatima had swung, she was bouncing off the salon door and stumbling forward for another helping of her knuckle sandwich. This time, Fatima hooked her twice in the gut, knocking the wind out of her, but she wouldn't let her opponent fall. Fatima grabbed the girl with the plastic earrings by her hair, only to have it come off in her hand, exposing the thin braids that had been hidden beneath the lace front wig. The girl with the shower cap sprang to her feet with intentions of helping her friend, but her rescue mission was a short one. Two fists connected to the side of her head, sending her chin first to the ground. Fatima's homegirl, Pam, danced in place like a boxer, eyes sweeping the room and daring anyone else to jump in. She had been sitting quietly among the girls, listening to their gossip and waiting to see how Fatima would react before she made her move. Pam was an old head from the projects and known for her knuckle game. Fatima grabbed the girl with the plastic earrings by the back of her one-piece jumpsuit, swung her around, and delivered vicious blows to her face and head. The girl's one-piece ripped, spilling forth her saggy titties and gut as she crashed to the floor. See, I told y'all not to start no shit in my place, Maddie yelled. She slapped her hand on a button behind the counter, and within seconds, the door to the office swung open, and two burly Spanish dudes rushed out. One was older, with salt and pepper hair. The other, a younger version of him, with thick black hair. Victor, Macho, see these broads out, please? Let's go, ladies, Victor, who was the older of the two men, said. He scooped the girl wearing the shower cap off the floor and threw her over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes, while grabbing the girl with the plastic earrings roughly by her arm. She was still dazed from her beating, and her legs barely supported her, so Victor had to half drag her. On his way out, he almost knocked over two women coming in. One was average height, wearing a sweatsuit and her hair in a ponytail, and the other was tall and dark, in full glam mode, heels and heavy makeup, even though it was the middle of the day. Excuse you? The one in the sweatsuit rolled her eyes. Victor mumbled something in the way of an apology and kept going. Y'all gotta go too, Macho told Fatima and Pam. He wasn't happy about it, because he had been trying to fuck Pam, and throwing her out of the shop wouldn't win him any points, but he had a job to do. Pam cut her eyes at everyone in the shop, including Macho, before storming out. Fatima followed a few paces behind. When she got to the door, she turned to Maddie. I apologize for this, Maddie. Just go, Fatima, Maddie said through clenched teeth. She was too heated to talk. Excuse me, Fatima said as she passed between the two girls who had just walked in, on her way out. Damn, what happened in here? The girl with the sweatsuit looked around the shop in astonishment. Chairs were overturned, and loose rollers littered the floor. On the wall, Maddie's favorite autographed picture of Celia Cruz hung at a funny angle on the wall. The glass in the frame was cracked in a web across her face. Billy, you just missed some shit, girl, Quanah said excitedly. She couldn't wait to bring Billy up to speed on the fight. Quanah, if I were you, I'd be more worried about taking care of hair instead of spreading gossip. This is my place of business, not the stoop, Maddie said sharply. Quanah rolled her eyes at Maddie, but was smart enough not to open her mouth for fear of being fired. Maddie was cool with all the girls in the salon, but she wouldn't hesitate to throw them out on their asses if they messed with her money. What are you getting, Billy? Your usual? Nah, not today. I don't have time to sit up in here all day getting my hair braided, so I'm just gonna get a quick wash, Billy told her, taking a seat along the wall. You getting something done too? Juana asked a tall, dark-skinned girl who had come in with Billy. No, I'm good, sweetie. I have a stylist who I keep on retainer, Kat told her. She had a deep, sultry voice that matched her sinfully proportioned body. Kat was 6 feet of hips, ass, and attitude. Well, excuse the hell out of me, a woman who had been eavesdropping from the next chair said. Kat, why don't you sit your ass down? Billy pulled Kat down into the seat next to her. You do the most sometimes. It ain't that I do the most. It's that you don't do enough, honey. Kat crossed her thick chocolate legs. The tight skirt she wore slid up so far that you could almost see her goodies. But Kat didn't seem to notice or care. Why do you run around dressed like a hobo all the time? She teased, tugging at the zipper of Billy's sweat jacket playfully. I dress comfortably, Kat. Not everybody is comfortable running around in stilettos before noon. She kicked the heel of one of Kat's tall black shoes. The heels were so sharp that she could have killed a man with them. Most bitches can't navigate the world in these pumps, but that doesn't mean they don't want to. I'm a part of a rare breed, boo. Kat flipped her long, heavy weave, hitting a little boy in the next seat in the face, almost knocking him out of the chair. Kat didn't even seem to notice. You clean up nice, Billy. You need to flaunt that shit. Billy had heard that speech a million times, be it from Kat or her friends. She had deep caramel skin and long black hair that was all hers, and a body that would put some video vixens to shame without even trying. But Billy carried herself like one of the fellas. When other little girls were playing with dolls, you could find Billy on the basketball court with the boys. Growing up, Billy had always been teased about being a dyke, and for a time in her life, she wasn't totally sure which way she wanted to go. But that changed when she met Kat's brother, Marcus. In him, she found a man who awakened everything in her that being a woman was about. So, when you gonna make my brother an honest woman out of you? Kat asked, changing the subject.
So one of the benefits of trucking is this bed that's in the back. And you know what? Even though we could just book it on down the road, gonna take advantage of the fact that I have a bed in the back, Jack. And I ain't pressed for time like that. So I'll holler at y'all in a minute. I'm gonna catch some Z's. You heard me? Give me some nice rest. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, hitting the like button. Y'all know what this is. Millionaire Mission. If you didn't, now you do. Who are you kidding? It's Millionaire Mission. Stop the bullshitting. We put food in the kitchen. Satchel on our back. We're going to take a nap and then run that. Millionaire Mission Milkman, Mr. Milktastic. Appreciate y'all subscribing. Got me up to 4K subscribers. That's crazy. If you ain't subscribed, go on and subscribe. Returning subscribers, old school subscribers, day one subscribers. Appreciate y'all for coming through and subscribing. And like I said, if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you subscribe. Millionaire Mission. We out.